Hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We are very happy to welcome you to our show titled Speak of Africa. We thank you very much for subscribing to our show. We thank you very much for viewing this show. We told you that we created this show because we wanted to give you a voice. We present the kind of news that the Western press does not want to cover. Because what you have to understand is a lot of your leaders are sleeping with your enemy, the people in the West. So it is the job of this show to be like a gadfly, to wake them up and say, hey, listen, you are not doing the people's job. So that's why we love to criticize. We like to weigh and consider. So much is happening. And today, we're going to start the show by focusing on Cameroon, La République du Cameroon. La République du Cameroon just marked November 4th. This is a sad day for the people of Cameroon. As most of you tell me, when you remember this day, you have terrible flashbacks. November 4th is the day Ahidjo, the first colonial president of Cameroon, decided to resign from his post as president of the country. He resigned on November 4th and handed over power to Biya, his handpicked so-called constitutional successor. And Biya has reigned over Cameroon for over 41 years. I was in La République du Cameroon on November 4th on that day. I was on the campus of the University of Yaoundé when the radio announcement was made. Today, Jean-Claude Otu tells the story on how things unfolded. We were really afraid. When the message came out, j'ai décidé de démissionner de mes fonctions du président de la République du Cameroun. Et cette décision prendra effet le samedi, le 6 novembre à 10h. When this news broke out, there was pandemonium on the street. People did not know what to expect. What will happen if Ahidjo, the personification of the country, resigns? Is this war coming? What is happening? Cameroonians were asking so many questions. Even though when a lot of people look at it, when you listen to this speech, Ahidjo's speech is like a report card. He was telling Cameroonians, this is what I've been able to do for you guys. For the short time, over 25 years, I've been at the head of the nation. I've struggled to build a new nation. It's not been easy. You can criticize me. I was an illiterate, but look at what I've been able to accomplish for you. I've been able to create a growing economy. I've been able to hold the various tribes together so that tribalism is not a problem. I've been able to unite the country. You may criticize me for being a dictator in terms of politics, but on the social sphere and the economic sphere, I've done a whole lot for you, Cameroon. That's the message Ahidjo presents in his speech. And we have a record of this speech, and we want you to listen to it for a few minutes if you're a Cameroonian. Listen to Ahidjo's resignation speech.
Camerounaises, Camerounais, mes chers compatriotes, j'ai décidé de démissionner de mes fonctions de président de la République unie du Cameroun. Cette décision prendra effet le samedi 6 novembre 1982 à 10h. En cette circonstance capitale, je voudrais du fond du cœur remercier toutes celles et tous ceux qui, depuis bientôt 25 ans, ont accordé leur confiance et apporté leur aide dans l'accomplissement de nos lourdes tâches à la tête de l'État. J'invite toutes les Camerounaises et tous les Camerounais à accorder sans réserve leur confiance et apporté leur concours à mon successeur constitutionnel, M. Paul Biya. Il mérite la confiance de tous à l'intérieur et à l'extérieur. Je vous exhorte à demeurer un peuple uni, patriote, travailleur, digne et respecté. Je prie Dieu Tout-Puissant afin qu'il continue à assurer au peuple camerounais la protection et l'aide nécessaire à son développement dans la paix, l'unité et la justice. Vive le Cameroun!
Do you solemnly swear before God and man to devote all your efforts to preserving, protecting, and defending the Constitution and the laws of the United Republic of Cameroon, to watch over the common will of the nation, and to uphold and defend the unity, integrity, and independence of the Cameroon fatherland? I do so swear.
Thank you for listening to this speech. When you listen to this speech, you see that this was a sad day for Cameroonians. When they look back in anger, Ahidjo, why did you give us Paul Biya? He has turned out, after 41 years, he has turned out to be a big disappointment. Saying that is a big disappointment is a euphemism, which means it is even worse than the situation should be. But that's what Cameroonians find themselves. A country that was supposed to become free, because when Ahidjo gave power to Biya, his handpicked successor, Cameroonians felt they were now introduced to a new deal. Biya is going to introduce change. And Biya also came with a rhetoric. I'm going to be a new kind of president. Freedom. So Cameroonians were just hopeful that a lot of good things are going to happen to them. After 41 years, Cameroon has turned into a concentration camp. Paul Biya has turned Cameroon into a concentration camp. Nothing is working, and the people are in misery. When you look at the number of Cameroonians traveling abroad because they are running away from the plight of their country, you will not really believe it. So many Cameroonians are running away. Some are dying in the Mediterranean because they are looking for greener pastures. For over 41 years, Biya has turned the country into hell. The country is very, very dirty. Why can the people not even pick trash? Even if they cannot fix the roads, why can they not pick trash? Even the mayors, all they want to do is steal money, the money of the people. And that's the sad part about this country. As we speak to you now, we understand Cameroon has a whole lot of problems. In fact, in the economic sphere, energy is a serious problem. Biya boasted about Vision 2035. I'm going to turn Cameroon into an El Dorado, a paradise. That's just a pipe dream. The guy just sits and plays his songo and does nothing. So long as he's coup-proofing the country, he makes sure that he keeps an eye on all the military officers so that they don't organize a coup. That's much of what he spends his time doing. Similarly, he monitors the press. Then he makes sure that people don't use the word coup d'etat in the country. So those are some of the things that he is trying to do, thinking this will proof his regime against coup d'etats that have become contagious in the region. Is this going to succeed? Well, the problem is your average Cameroonian has been inoculated, and at this point, they are just like zombies. They are sleeping. So they don't even have that spirit to be able to rebel anymore. Then the guys in the military, Paul Biya has been able to use money to corrupt them. So if you want to take over the country, what are you going to get? I'm giving you so much money. So you don't even have a reason to want to take over. Then, of course, tribalism. Biya makes sure he uses people from his tribe. He has even created his own army. He's guided by the Jewish guys, Israel. You have B. B is a creation of Israel. They are guarding him. But the only sad part is, I tell people, Biya is not invincible. Look at what happened on October 7 in Israel. Israel thought they were invincible. But what happened? Hamas was able to pierce through that veil, and they broke into Israel and killed over 1,400 innocent civilians. Netanyahu, the warlike guy, did not know what to say. All he can say is revenge, revenge, revenge. Those are the people keeping Biya in power. And those are the people responsible for the misery of Cameroonians. So on this show, we know that November 4th is a day of misery. It's just like the Palestinians remember the Nakba. This is a day of catastrophe. It is the most catastrophic event in the history of Cameroon. So when Cameroonians remember November 4th, they cry, they look back in anger. And that's basically what is happening. You see those who are in Ambazonia, they cry every day. Ahidjo, you created this problem for us. You were thinking you were leaving us somebody. Even Ahidjo's wife, Jermaine, criticized him. Why would you bring a non-entity like Biya to become president? This guy cannot make decisions. Ahidjo was like, oh no, maybe he cannot make decisions because I'm still here. When I leave, he'll be able to make decisions. This guy is a weakling. He doesn't know how to run a country. He's not a leader. He knows French administration, but he cannot lead a country. He doesn't have the charisma. So whenever you have people who have charisma, Biya decides to kill them in cold blood, and that has been the fate of Cameroonians. So for over 41 years, Cameroonians now are in shock. They don't know what to do. On va faire comment? What are we going to do? Well, if you're not going to do anything, then you continue dealing with the malaise of poor Biya. Interestingly, he's very aged, but he's still there. The coup d'etats are happening. He's proving himself against all those coups. So that's the reality that we present to you about Cameroon. Okay? Now we move to Nigeria. In Nigeria also, we have a serious problem. When Bola Tinubu was elected, some Nigerians were hopeful that perhaps we want to get a change from the lethargic Buhari Muhammadu. Buhari was just sitting there. Nigeria was just running on autopilot. How can you be a manager? You run a country. You don't even check. You give people tasks to do. As a manager, you need to check and see what they are doing. But Buhari was just sitting there doing nothing. And that's why for over 8 years, Nigeria was not moving ahead. Nigeria was instead retrogressing. Bola Tinubu has come now. Nigerians have a lot of hope. But the hopes are dashed because this week, there were evidence of Bola Tinubu trying to spend a lot more money than Nigeria does not have. So how can this be? You coming in as a new kind of leader, you said you're going to be different from Muhammadu Buhari, but now you are even worse. You're spending money that the people don't have. You want to buy a yacht? Goodluck Jonathan said the people proposed this to him, but he realized that it costs too much money. How can I be buying a yacht when my people are suffering? They are suffering and smiling in silence. So how can I be watching them and doing this? So that's the enigma. Bola Tinubu now is an enigma. He's spending Nigerian money as if there's no tomorrow. He wants to buy SUVs for his wife and friends. Is this how you run a country? This is very sad. As this is happening, there's a backdrop of insecurity. As we are talking to you now, over 37 people were killed again in the north. What is Bola Tinubu doing? No, he's concentrating just on spending Nigerians' money. He's not worrying about securing the country. Then what kind of leadership is this? Is this why he fought so much? Oh, this is my turn. So it's your turn to just steal the money of the country. Oh Lord, Nigeria, I feel sorry for you. Now we take you to Burkina Faso.
Tired of waiting in long lines at the emergency room or your doctor's office? You should be. Why wait in long lines for care? It's time for you to come to Lucille Urgent Care. Real care, no waiting. Lucille Urgent Care, the best place for true and loving care. Service at Lucille Urgent Care is convenient, fast, time-efficient, affordable, accessible, transparent, and cost-effective. Royal treatment is your right. Indeed, it's not just a privilege or pejorative. Skip the emergency room's long lines, kiss the ER goodbye, say farewell to your old doctor's office, pay less, save time, enjoy the excitement of convenience, receive immediate treatment, get the healthcare you need quickly and affordably. Lucille Urgent Care offers many express services: rapid COVID-19 testing, on-site prescription, preventative lab services, imaging and x-rays, urgent medical treatment for common illnesses and injuries, routine vaccines and flu shots, work-related injury services, pre-employment, occupational, annual, and sports physicals, immigration exams, and much more. Same-day treatment, rapid lab results, extended hours, weekend hours, no appointment necessary, no insurance necessary, no doctor necessary, walk-ins accepted, telemedicine available. We are open 7 days a week with evening and weekend hours. We are located in Maryland. Lucille Urgent Care, 903 Half York Road, Towson, Maryland, 21204. Website, lucilleuc.com. Call at 443-275-1286 or 301-593-4897.
The jihadists are still there in Burkina Faso, but right now the people who come from the diaspora, they are trying to help their people they left at home. So Burkina Faso is getting money remittances from people in their citizens in the diaspora, so it's helping them a little bit, but the problem of jihadists persists. And Ibrahim Traore knows that the people are becoming impatient. He's been using a lot of rhetoric to calm them down, but I think the people have waited for too long, and now they think he should really act to solve their problems, focus on their problems. Stop talking about the way you look like Sankara, you are the next Sankara. They want to solve those problems. What Sankara was doing little projects. So I remember the Sankara era. Those who don't remember it, let me tell you, Sankara was engaged in reforestation. He was planting trees. Looking for little projects to help people to survive. So Ibrahim Traore, you need to go back. If you want to copy Sankara, look at what Sankara was doing as president. He was not just parading in the press using symbols. He was going down to the street and doing the job with the people. He was performing labor with the people. So if you want to be like Sankara, you need to start doing some of these things. Stop just making speeches and talking about weapons. The people want to eat. Your people want to eat. So that's why they've started criticizing you and you are not happy about it. Mali is having a similar situation. The Tuareg in the north, we told you before, they have been complaining about resources. The government is taking resources and the government is not sharing these resources with them. And that's what has led to a lot of problems in Mali. So now that MINUSMA and the UN are leaving, the Tuareg rebels are moving back in. And there's evidence that they are moving back in. And it looks like the Africans don't even know what to do, Africans in Mali. So it's really sad. Now we take you to Guinea. You remember Musa Dadis Camara? This is the guy who took over power after Lansana Conte died. He took over power. You used to hear that people talk about the Daddy show. This guy was a clown. He took over the country and he was bullying the German ambassador. Things came to a head when over 157 people were killed in a stadium. And he claimed he was sleeping. He did not know anything about it. Unfortunately for him, one of his bodyguards shot him in the head. He almost died. He went out of the country. He spent a lot of time in Burkina Faso. Then the government of Mamadi Doumbouya allowed him to come back. So after he came back, he has been asked to face trial for his crime, and that's what happened. Interestingly, this weekend, the son of one of his pals brought some commandos. They broke into the prison in Conakry and took him out. But before we came to the studio to tape this show, we understand Musa Dadis Camara has been arrested and has been taken back to prison. So you see the way Africa functions is like a jungle. So long as we don't have the rule of law, we'll continue having problems of chaos and insecurity. And that's what happened in Guinea this weekend. Mamadi Doumbouya makes a lot of nice speeches like other opportunists, but it looks like he does not really understand that the people are tired. The people want bread and butter issues to be tackled. They want food. Those are their basic needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The shelter. Those are the basic needs the people have. They want these needs to be fulfilled. So Mamadi Doumbouya needs to focus on these needs. Otherwise, we're seeing that a coup d'etat is going to happen again in Guinea. It will not be long, another coup d'etat will happen. Because the same military guys who are protecting Mamadi Doumbouya, one of them will want to take over power because it feels like Mamadi Doumbouya is squandering the resources of the country. So he too wants to take his turn and enjoy those resources. So that's what's going to happen. Then what about Ghana? Now we take it to Ghana. President Biya, the VP, is running for president. It looks like he's going to be facing John Dramani Mahama, the former president of Ghana. So Ghana has been having a whole lot of economic problems, okay? But they are focusing attention on politics. Is politics going to solve them? Solve their problems? We doubt it. Next, we take you to Senegal. Senegal is a country where we saw a lot of protesters this weekend. Most of them were supporting the Palestinians in the Middle East. You should understand that Senegal has a very big Muslim population. So because of religion, they've sympathized with the Palestinians. While they are sympathizing with the Palestinians, they have their own problems. And their own problems are political too. Macky Sall has been forced not to run again. But he still bears a grudge against Ousmane Sonko. Ousmane Sonko has been ailing just because they don't want him to run, and he's been going on a hunger strike. So why is Macky Sall not putting the name of Ousmane Sonko on the election calendar? Why not? Put his name on there. This guy has support in the country. Let him run and let him lose. But you should not decide who should be president of that country. That's a mistake Macky Sall is making again and again. He wants his VP to take over the country. But the other candidates are already complaining that the Electoral Commission is unfair. And the sad thing in Senegal is this country has a very good democratic tradition, starting with Sédar Senghor, Leopold Sédar Senghor, and Abdou Diouf. Where is this democratic tradition? Macky Sall is destroying this tradition. He has decided to rename the members of the Electoral Commission. He has replaced them with people who are his puppets. So what is going to happen? He's going to handpick the new president of Senegal. That's what is going to happen. Okay? Then what about Uganda?
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Well, we're going to take you to Uganda now. This is the country of Yoweri Museveni. This guy talks a lot. He tries to present himself like an intellectual guy. But there are problems in his country. The ADF, which is an ISIS kind of linked rebel group, has been committing a lot of crimes. Museveni has been saying that the ADF terror organization is back for a long time. He has been replaced by Felix Tshisekedi. But the ADF continues to wreak havoc in Uganda. So this week, we understand that the government of Yoweri Museveni was able to arrest the leader of the ADF. Is this arrest going to change anything in the security climate of Uganda? We don't think so. When people are rebelling, they have a cause. They are not rebels without a cause. Rebels always have a cause. It doesn't matter what you think. If you think their cause is not just, we think it's still a good idea to sit and listen to them. Then try to see how you can make peace. That's our position. Make peace and see what's going to happen. So far, we've presented the news of Africa. We've presented the dark side, but there is a silver lining which we want to stress in the news today. One, the United States has decided to extend AGOA, which is the African Growth and Opportunity Act. It's a legislation that was established to encourage trade between the United States and African countries. But there was a catch. They have to try to abide by democratic principles. How many of those guys actually abide by democratic principles? Probably none. So long as they are a lackey of the West, America will accept them. So America has renewed trade with African countries under AGOA, and most of the African countries are happy the trade has been renewed. But the news that we really like, which we heard this weekend from Africa, is the visa-free countries. More and more countries are making it possible for Africans to travel without any visa restrictions. You have to understand, when people cannot travel freely in Africa, then tourism has to come from out of Africa. Right now, 60% of tourists in Africa come from abroad, come from European countries, Americans, spheres, and other continents. This has to change. Now, Rwanda has instituted a visa-free regime. This is good. This is something good that Paul Kagame has done, and it was announced with fanfare. Africans can now travel to Rwanda without any visas. They don't need visas. They don't need to pay even a dime to travel to Rwanda. This is good. This is going to create an influx of business people. People who want to do business can travel to to Rwanda now easily without any discomfort. Okay? So this is going to create an opportunity. When the African Free Trade Zone was created, we thought it's going to unleash a whole lot of potential in Africa, but the countries are still dealing with a lot of colonial setbacks. Some of those schisms that were established during the colonial days are still there. So we're happy with a visa-free zone. It's going to make it possible for Africans to travel to Rwanda. So the tourism that is going to increase in Rwanda is something positive. It's going to have positive economic impact in the country. So Rwanda is not alone. Just remember, the Seychelles also introduced a visa-free zone in their country. That too is positive. So the Seychelles is another country where you can travel. You don't need visa if you're an African. So this is good. Then even the little Benin, the voodoo country, you can travel to Benin. You don't need visa to travel to Benin. So that's also positive. Gambia also announced a visa-free regime. You can travel to Gambia. You remember Kunta Kinte, Roots, the movie? That's the country. That's Yaya Jammeh's country. That's Adama Barrow's country. Okay? You can travel to Gambia. It's a very beautiful country. You can travel there. You don't need a visa if you're an African. So this is something positive. It reduces the cost of travel. It reduces the barriers to travel. So this is positive. Kenya also has reduced the barriers to travel. So we love this. Okay? But the part that we want to emphasize more on Kenya is not just the lifting of barriers to travel. We want to talk about the colonial past. King Charles is visiting Kenya, and the people are holding him accountable for the crimes of the British in Kenya. And we remember our famous freedom fighter, Dedan Kimathi. The British killed him. Where did they put his body? The people are asking a question even today. Where did you keep the body of Dedan Kimathi and some of those Mau Mau freedom fighters? You killed them. Where did you put their body? The people want to know. Is King Charles going to pay reparations to Kenyans That's what the people want. And we're making the point for our people. They want King Charles to pay reparations for the ills of British colonialism in Kenya. Is he going to pay this? It remains for you, the people, to protest, protest, and protest. And we're giving you the power. Protest, protest, and protest. May God bless you.
Now more than ever, it is critical that medical facilities utilize modern, reliable electronic health records. Introducing Alexia HTC, the innovative, affordable online solution for physicians and patients. Doctors' visits, diagnoses, prescriptions, and billing have never been easier. With Alexia HTC, you can work more efficiently with the integrated flexibility medical professionals need today. Schedule a live demonstration. Call or visit us at alexiahtc.com.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.